Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm be predicting the Flores versus Bunch fight. If you are new around here though and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you're doing a live video, and let's get straight into it. I've not seen loads of people talking about this fight, and I thought it's a good matchup and they're both high level fighters, and so yeah, why not? I don't think it's a world ranked fight, but I just thought might as well speak about it. So going into this fight, Flores is 23-0-1 with 13 KOs, and Bunch is 21-1 with 16 KOs. This fight is for the IBF USBA Super Lightweight title. Bunch's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Lundy, and Flores' last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Ramirez. Flores is 27 and Bunch is 23. So of course, like I always mention, there's a big age gap there with this fight, a good 5 years, if that maths right is there. Flores' losses, or loss, came versus Kroll in 2019, and I believe that was only his third fight of his career, so he's been on a very good run since then, and very dominant since then, so I wouldn't look too much into that one defeat. Bunch, as a fighter, he's a powerful fighter. He can fight off the back foot, he has fast counters, he's got that one punch power, which he's won a lot of fights with in the past, and this is why I'm quite looking forward to this fight. He sits down on his shots. He has good attacking combinations. He's patient. He's confident. He has a long jab. He gets out of corners well. He pounces. He finds openings, and he's an explosive fighter. Overall, a very entertaining fighter to watch. Like I said, he's got that power, and that power is lethal from any point. Like I said, he can fight off the back foot, and so he can be powerful off the back foot. He is patient. He can sometimes just wait until there's a good opening. Sometimes he'll counter, sometimes he'll be the aggressor. Of course, he goes in with that confidence, and he oozes confidence when he goes into his fights. He has a long jab. I believe he has a long reach. He seems like he fights with a long reach. If he doesn't, then I've got it wrong, but it's the way he fights, it seems like he has a long reach. He does pounce when he gets and he sees you hurt, or even when he's just going in with a powerful punch, he will just kind of jump in, which is a good and a bad thing. I'll speak about the positive, I suppose the negative side of that in a moment. And yeah, like I said, he gets out of corner as well, so he's quite an aggressive fighter, but when he does get backed up, he seems to find that he has good movement to get out of there. And so it's just something I noticed. As I suppose the negatives about him, he can get caught jumping in. So like I said, when he pounces, he can get caught by somebody countering that, and that can kind of send him off balance. And that's seemingly what kind of happened with Lundy. I don't think he has the best of chins, Bunch. I'm pretty sure I watched the... I think I watched there was a knockdown in the Lundy fight. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was. And yeah, Lundy knocking down Bunch, because it didn't really seem to affect him much, and he still managed to win the fight convincingly, but it's just you can see that he hasn't got the best of chins and he can get knocked down. He does fight with a bit of an open guard, so that's also something to set up the head, because Lundy did just land, from the video I saw, he did just land a good headshot, and it was just because his head was just very open target, and it was open there to be taken. He can overcommit at times. It's kind of links with the fact of him pouncing in. He's reckless at times, kind of links. He has to utilise the jab. Sometimes he doesn't, goes off that, but I think he's best when he does fight off the jab. Like I said, he leaves his head open. He's not got the best of chins, like I said. And this is for both these fighters. I'm pretty sure this is probably their toughest test yet. And I always appreciate them. Fighters going in, both having their toughest test against each other, and I think this is why it's a good fight and a good matchup. But let's speak about Flores. So, Flores has good bodywork. He has good changing levels in the jab, and even just his punches in general. He feints well. He has good head movement. He throws to all body parts available. He throws with intent. He finds openings. He's fast. He's attacking. He's a mid-range kind of fighter. He has looping overhands, and he's composed. I watched his fight versus Ramirez. I thought that was a good fight, and probably could have done a bit more to win. Obviously he did win convincingly, but I think possibly there was openings there for him to get the stoppage if he just worked a little bit more, or if he was just a little bit more powerful. I know you can't really say that much about that kind of thing, but I think if he was a little bit more powerful, then he probably could have stopped him, but he didn't. But still, it was a good, tough fight, and he did look very good throughout the fight. Like I said, he uses the body work very well. He utilises that well. He has good changing in levels. Links the same thing. The feinting well. he does that well, but then yeah, he has the looping overhands, and it means that he can. It is kind of an obvious punch to see, especially if it is just coming from quite far back. You can kind of predict that, and I mean, he'll feint well, and then he'll throw a big looping punch, and then sometimes it it kind of just avoids the point, evades the point of even feinting in the first place, because if he's just gonna feint and then it's just gonna be seen anyway, there's no real point of him feinting in the first place. But he is a composed fighter. He doesn't ever really look like he's panicking or anything. But yeah, he does like to fight in the mid range, which I think Bunch probably would like to fight there as well. It seems like they're both quite comfortable at the mid range. Flores, he seemingly has a bit of a lesser reach, or the way he fights the way with a bit of a lesser reach, especially in that last fight. So he does lunge in at times, especially with the jab. He likes to control the jab, but he does lunge in at times. He's not overly powerful. He throws with intent, but he's not really got loads of like natural power and physical power. And so I don't think, even though Bunch, I don't think has the best of chins, I don't think he's going to get fully damaged unless he's off balance when he gets caught coming in by any of Flores' shots. He is open to uppercuts, and that was kind of shown in that last fight. That was maybe where he was getting punished the most. And like I said, he does throw from quite far out. But yeah, overall, I think this is a good matchup, a good fight in the super lightweight division. And I'm sure whoever wins this fight will go on to a world title level opponent next. I'm not saying either of these two aren't, but I just don't think either of them two are ranked by any of the boards. Flores is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Bunch will win via TKO in round 5. I think the way that Bunch fights is, like I said, very entertaining. And I think it will be able to land one of his big one-punch knockout punches and get him wobbling, and then just be able to finish it off with a TKO in round 5. I think his explosiveness is something that Flores hasn't really ever faced. I don't think he's ever faced an attacking threat like what Bunch is, and so yeah, I don't see that Flores can try and outbox Bunch here, because I don't see Bunch just kind of giving in and just letting him be outboxed. And I think Bunch is going to come in there with the confidence and just kind of keep him at the long jab, wait, be patient, and then set up the big punch, and then utilize that big punch. And then yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of options of who he could fight next. Of course, if he wants to go in, I doubt this is probably the most unrealistic of the three. IBF champion Matias is an option, but I don't think that would happen. Lee, I've also put as an option. I'm pretty sure he's just come out of the top 15 for the mandatory board, but I think I'm pretty sure he is fighting this weekend. So yeah, that could be a good fight. I don't know if that would ever happen. Or Ponce, that's another good fight, Argentinian fighter. I think that could be another good matchup as well. I just like to see him in and around the world rankings, and if he's going to be getting the IBF USBA super lightweight title, I'm sure he'll be ranked by IBF. And so yeah, like I said, Ponce will probably be a good option. But yeah, I don't think Matias fight will happen. Well, I wouldn't hate it if it does happen, because it would be two big power punchers against each other. But maybe that's a little bit further along down the line for him, but might not be. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did indeed like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.